My parents took my brother on a luxury trip and forgot about me, so I packed bags and left without word, weeks later. When my parents told me they were finally taking a real family trip, I thought they meant all of us. I didn't even ask where we were going. I just started saving a little extra for spending money and making plans to ask for time off work. A week later, I found out through Instagram that my younger brother was in Dubai with them, riding jet skis, eating at fancy restaurants, staying in a 5-star hotel. My name wasn't even mentioned. They hadn't invited me, hadn't even told me when they were leaving. At first, I thought maybe there was a mistake. Maybe they assumed I couldn't take time off, or maybe they thought I wouldn't want to go. But the more I scrolled through the posts, the clearer it became. They hadn't forgotten. They had chosen. The captions, the group selfies, the comments, they were a family trip without me. That night, I didn't argue. I didn't call them or demand answers. I quietly packed my things, clothes, some important documents, a few photos I cared about. I'd been living at home still, working, paying some rent, contributing groceries here and there. But in that moment, the house didn't feel like home. It felt like a place I had been tolerated until I was no longer needed. I left without a word. I didn't slam the door or write a note. I just walked out with my duffel bag and backpack, caught a late bus, and went to stay at a friend's apartment. She had a couch and an open heart, and that was enough. The first few days felt strange, like I had done something wrong. I kept waiting for my phone to light up with their names, but nothing came. Not even a text to ask if I'd eaten, if I was okay, if I was home. They were too busy posting about high-end brunches and shopping malls. So I focused on myself. I picked up extra shifts at work, I applied for a better job, and landed it within a week. I opened a savings account separate from the one my mom always peeked into. Every small step felt like I was chiseling out a piece of independence I had been denied for too long. Weeks went by. My parents came back from Dubai and immediately noticed I wasn't home. They didn't call me right away. Instead, my brother sent me a lazy, "Mom's asking where you are" text. I didn't reply. The next day, my dad called, sounding more annoyed than concerned. He asked why I stormed out. I told him I hadn't stormed anywhere. I just left because I realized I wasn't considered part of the family they took on vacation. Silence on the other end, then a sigh. Days later, my mom called. This time, she tried to sound apologetic, but it came out more defensive. She said things like, "We thought you were too busy," and "We didn't think you'd want to spend money like that." I let her talk, then asked why they didn't just ask me, why they didn't even try. She didn't have an answer. By then, though, I had already signed a lease on a small apartment with another friend. It wasn't much, but it had my name on it, my key, my space. I moved in quietly, just like I had left. One weekend, they showed up at my new place unannounced. My mom tried to look around like she was proud, like she wanted to claim some part of this accomplishment. My dad asked if I planned on coming back home eventually. I told them no. I told them I had a home now, and it wasn't theirs. They didn't stay long. I think they realized I wasn't bluffing. My brother barely said a word, just hovered in the background. Maybe he felt guilty, maybe he didn't. I didn't care. Weeks later, when they invited me to a family dinner, I didn't go. I stayed in, cooked with my roommate, and ate on our small balcony, laughing about nothing important. It wasn't glamorous, but it felt real. I had left quietly, and I kept living quietly. No shouting matches, no dramatic confrontations, just distance. And in that distance, I found peace. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel like the extra piece in someone else's picture. I was building my own, and every day it looked a little brighter, a little freer, and entirely mine.